Hi everyone, James Brinkman here for day 4 of the Left Hand Flute Project. Thank you for joining me today. Quick review of yesterday. Yesterday was a really fantastic practice session. I was able to get through 6 scales, the chromatic scale, and I finished up Little Piece by Robert Schumann, and I sight read Melody by Robert Schumann. As you can see, it has 8 notes, and those were a little scary for me to try and play, but I made through my sight reading session, and today I'm going to work on that piece more. Today's goals. I'm going to be playing more scales, arpeggios, and I'm going to attempt playing thirds because I see lots of thirds patterns in this Robert Schumann melody. I'm going to work on finger trills today. I'm also going to be working on the chromatic scale in 2 octaves today, and I'll be working on my new solo melody by Robert Schumann. So let's get started. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Lining up the flute on day 4 is definitely a lot easier than it's been. I'm going to start with the chromatic scale. Yeah, because I feel like if I can play all the notes in the chromatic scale, that might be a nice warm-up just to remind me of, like, where do my fingers go on this? I'm still trying to figure out how to sit properly. Nice little glissando there. Alright, chromatic scale. So today I'm going to do C major. I was so close. I almost had it. Oh, okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll get it on the first try. I want to get that right someday. And now the thirds. Like, oh, I'm gonna go for the low B, and there's no low B on this foot joint. That's okay though. I think I think the last thing I need right now is an extra key on this flute. Okay, we're gonna try B flat major 2 octaves today. So it's the first time I have to use this trill key. Oh, there's always something. Pet peeve, lifting that first finger on E flat and D, middle E flat and D. There are definitely still some times where I keep it down. I'm sorry, but it is not the first finger you think about lifting when you're moving up that scale. Gentle reminders to the students. One day we'll all get it. Oh, that's doing great. That is the fingering for F. On the right-handed flute, there it is, searching for that trill key. Trying to break 15 years of habit, start a new groove in that brain. Okay, we're gonna try that high B flat octave again. Yes! Do you ever feel like that when you're so excited that you just like finally got it? All right, E flat major. That's a tricky arpeggio. One thing I'm still noticing on day 4, I'm still pressing the keys really hard. Doing my best. I'm still just trying to get those the correct fingers down. Can't even think about letting my fingers be light yet. Oh, since I've been playing so long and I'm still pressing them hard, I gotta hand it to my students. Like, just, you keep trying, but I think what I'm learning right now is that it's good to have the ideas. You're planting seeds for these kids, and that's really important. You really can only get on them so much about it because it's hard. I have truly forgotten how hard it was to be a beginner at the flute, and I'm not even a complete beginner, and it's hard. We just, be kind, be compassionate. The kids are doing the best that they can at that moment, and we just keep gently planting those seeds, but it's frustrating when you're not doing it well. So today, I'm going to do this in 2 practice sessions because I recommended that to myself a few days ago. So I'm finishing up practice session 1. I'm going to play melody, the Schumann. I'm going to work on some of these 8th note passages because they're fast. Ooh, that's scary. Okay, B, D, and C. That is a scary, balancing act. Yay! That D to C is just so annoying. I got really excited there. Let me sing that G. Can't get into my head too much, or I'll forget what fingers go down next. Okay, second, third part. That's D. I'm getting better. I'm finally getting better at remembering what D is. Shout out to Maria Schwartz and her bunny ears. Bunny ears with a tail. Ooh, that's hard. D to F. Oh my god, I still keep hitting these trill keys. Oh my god. I was like, I'm gonna get this. I don't need to practice this. I can play these thirds. Yeah, that didn't happen. Okay, we're gonna try practicing that. F, B natural. Oh my gosh. So the pattern D, F, B, D, C. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. That pattern, that is really tricky. At least for a right-handed flute player, and now trying it on the left-hand flute, it is really counterintuitive. And I'm just like, let me put one finger down at a time as I move. Woo! Okay, one more time. Little progress at a time. Okay, so that ends the first half of my practice session for day 4. I'm gonna go take a break. I'm hoping that that'll give my squishy and my shoulder a chance to rest for a bit. So, I'll see you back for practice session number 2. Alright, so I'm back for my second practice session today. My finger and my shoulder are feeling a lot better. They're just kind of rested, so let's get going. I'm going to do just a couple finger trills, maybe a new sharp scale, and then I'm going to try sight reading a new piece. Here we go. These are some finger trills I learned from Pat George's Art of Chunking book. Yeah, the balance from going to from the D trill to the B trill is really tricky. You have to switch it. So when playing D, this is a good observation. When playing D, I'm focused a lot on holding the flute with the thumb. But then when I switch to B, I have to hold it with that squishy part again. That's challenging, I think, for students maybe, is how do you switch the balance of your hands? Because sometimes we want it heavier in one hand than heavier in the other. My pinky is so high. Does anyone see any like funny pinky stuff with their kids? Like it's really high or it's kind of low? Yeah, mine's definitely really high. So I'm going to play G major, 2 octaves. Anytime something happens around that D to E, just like, oh man, struggle is real. I have a beginner student who really likes to do little trills at the end of their scale, so I'm channeling that beginner student right now. I also want to check on melody and see if I was able to retain some of the stuff that I worked on from earlier today. Okay, so I sort of retained it. I will need to work on that measure again tomorrow, so that'll be a good goal. But for my last thing, I like to sometimes end my practice sessions with sight reading because it's fun to try new things. I want to see if you're actually familiar with it. If you do know it, write it in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for day 4 of the Left Hand Flute Project. Things are going pretty well on the flute, I feel. The balance is still tricky. That's just something I'm trying to get used to. But I'm able to play quite a few scales now, mostly in 2 octaves, and I'm sight reading things at an okay level. I'm able to get through it. So for tomorrow's goals, there will be lots of scales, lots of chunking, and hopefully finishing up one piece and starting up another one. Thanks again, and happy practicing!